Hello, and welcome to Love Out Loud with First Baptist Church in Jacksonville, Illinois. My name is Caleb, and today I want to reflect on how God is always present. I know for a believer that may seem like an obvious or old idea. After all, the three extraordinary attributes given to God are that He's omniscient, all-knowing, omnipotent, all-powerful, and omnipresent, always present, everywhere at once. However, to put it that way gets to be a bit too much of an elevated idea that can end up making us take it for granted or just at face value and leaving it at that. So today I'd like to take a look at a more grounded approach to the idea of this as evidenced in the Bible. Strangely enough, this is coming from the Old Testament, a part of the Bible that is filled with direct messages from God or secondhand through prophets. All very direct and can be shown as evidence of God influencing and inspiring people of faith. I'm talking about the book of Ruth. It really caught me by surprise when I heard recently that Ruth is the only book of the Bible that doesn't quote God or give an upfront reference or divine action God has taken. But if you pay attention when reading it, it's very evident that God is at work within the lives of Ruth and Naomi. Now, if you do a quick concordance or search of words like I did when I heard this, of course God is named and mentioned, but it's conversationally between the people in the book. Some of the conversations we see Naomi have are, in my opinion, much like we do today. Jesus is not currently with us in a physical body, and God is not delivering new words or works like with the disciples of Jesus' day or the prophets in the days of Ruth. But if we believe, we speak to each other about God and our lives and where He's either at work or needed in our lives. That's exactly what we have Naomi doing in this book. She feels God has left her behind after a husband who has died, followed by her two sons. Her sadness is much like what's seen in Psalms, or today if we lose a loved one. But Ruth decides to stay, against all reason and cultural responsibility. Later, Ruth meets Boaz when gathering food for the two of them, and this is when their lives change. We see Naomi go from a mournful widow to a mother who sees the blessing God has given them. Because of their laws and traditions, Boaz is close enough in their family to fulfill the role of marrying Ruth and furthering the family lineage. A lineage which would eventually produce David and Jesus. Now, in today's world, we obviously don't have the law or tradition of the family redeemer responsibility, or a lot of other details in the story of these two women. But there's an undercurrent to this whole book that very clearly reflects situations we can find ourselves in modern life. Now, I can't promise everything will work out like it did for Naomi and Ruth. I can't promise that tomorrow will be better than today. I just know that for us today, like Naomi and Ruth then, God is always with us and always working on His timeline. And just like Naomi and Ruth, as we see happen in this book, we have a family and people to talk to and rely on when we are in the thick of it. Thank you again for joining us, and I hope this reflection on seeing God work on the background of people's lives in the Bible has been as useful and interesting to you as it was to me. In the meantime, have peace, love on, and God bless.